Hello and welcome back to Luke-N-SHAE'S Place. I hope everybody's had a great day today, and I'm back with you for our banger reaction video. Tonight we're going to talk about family, okay? We're going to talk about the Black family. And before I begin, please help grow our podcast, and you can do so by liking the content. If you like the content that we share, please click the like button. When you click the like button, that allows us to have our content spread out to different people on YouTube so that they can see our content, and it just puts us in the algorithm. Also, comment. Why not? If you have anything that you want to say about the videos that we're posting, comment. We appreciate your feedback. We'll reply to you. And subscribe. That is so important. Your subscription is greatly appreciated. It's 100% free. And don't forget to click that bell so that you get notifications when we'll be going live and when we're just posting. All right. So I have a banger reaction video for you. Came across this video, and there's Dr. George C. Frazier. He is talking about Black family, and it's about the crisis of the Black family. So I'm gonna dive right into that tonight and just check out what he's saying. All right. All right, let's take a look at what Dr. George C. Frazier has to say. And again, it looks like the title of his, what he was actually talking on was the crisis of the Black family. So I'm going to dive right into that just to see what he's saying. So let's take a look at it here. Okay. I'll rewind it here.
I'm talking about the 5 biggest challenges Black people have for the next 100 years. The number one challenge is the existential crisis of the Black family. The existential crisis of the Black family. Marriage in our culture is down to 34%. When we were growing up, it was 85%. It's now down to 34%. 71% of our sisters are not married, 29% will never get married, 63% of our brothers are not married, 30% of them will never get married. There is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family at the center of their culture. This only exists. This is an interesting but negative statistic. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American Black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora. So there must be something in the water. We must fix this. There's a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth. Quick statistics. For 350 years, household median income was dominated by white people. They were number one in this country. They no longer are number one, they're number 3. And there's a reason for it. So, who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians, $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. 2 are working. Who's number 2? Chinese Asians. Household median income $110,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. Number 3 are white people. Household median income $88,000 a year. What's the marriage rate? Almost 50%.
Wow.
Down significantly. Number 4 are Hispanics. Household median income $61,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income $55,000 a year. Marriage rate, 34%. And projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years.
That's sad.
Talk I give on the 5 biggest challenges black people have for the next 100 years. The number one challenge is the existential crisis of the black family. The existential crisis of the black family.
That is sad. That is a shame. Just hearing those numbers and just hearing the numbers for the black family. And like he mentioned, if we don't do something about this, it's going to be, he said it's right now it's at 34%. And if nothing's done, it's going to go into the low teens. So that's sad to hear. We need to get it together. There's a lot going on out here. And if you hear things right now on the internet, and it's men and it's women, and it's like a back and forth with, okay, oh, it's the man's fault. The men are doing this, and the men are, you just see so much right now, and it's sad. And also with the men are saying, hey, there's nothing in a marriage for us. There's some men out here saying that. What is there that a woman has to offer if she's not being submissive? And they're saying that women today, they're not godly women. So that's a big thing too. And women are saying they're not godly men out here. So you have this back and forth. But what I do see, and as a black woman, yeah, I get offended when I hear my black brothers out here and, you know, and it's like, oh, the women, you guys are lost. You're the ones that are broken. And then I have to take a step back and actually look at what's going on out here and just watching different things that have been going on in our country. And I see some videos and I see different things, and I see in real life women, and I'm not saying all, because it's not all of us black women. It's not. But they're seeing the younger generations come up, and it's not even just the younger generation, but a lot of the stuff that's been pushed on the black family, and basically to separate the black family. And what we're doing now is we can talk about all the things from back in the day and all the things that was basically in place to separate the black family. So you hear people talk about Jim Crow. You hear people talk about, okay, the feminist movement. Yes, all those things. You hear all that with the welfare and how Section 8, okay, they created a program to assist with women, not just women of color, to assist with women who, okay, having financial issues, and you have children, and they're going to give you housing. But with the housing that you're getting, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure, I don't think there's a lot of men that are on it. I think it's not just for women, but the majority of the people who have been using Section 8 have been women, okay, because they have the children. So I'm just speaking on that. And for when you have that, what happened over the years is they give you that. It's like, okay, here's housing for you and your children. But the rule is you and your children, meaning, okay, the man cannot be in that household. We're going to give you a portion of your rent to pay for this house, but the man cannot be in the home. That is not a family. I don't know if there was any other way that they could have assisted with that, or I don't know. It's just a shame because you're telling her, hey, the man can't be there. So she's in the house by herself. So, and it's like, okay, where's the father? The father's not in the home. So you don't have children being raised with both parents. And when women, you know, you're having financial issues, you're going to be like, okay. But the thing about it is, there was it's more incentive to keep having children, actually, when you think about it, because when you have a certain amount of children, the bigger house that you would get. So even though you're not having the man in the home, oh, you can keep having children and we'll keep giving you bigger houses. You might start off with a 2 bedroom, one child, and you might over the years have more children, and now you're up to a 4 bedroom and no man in the household, but more children. So a lot of things were in place to basically break up the family. And here we are today. I know there's a lot of talk of the child support. Okay. That family court system needs to be fixed in every state in our country. It's broken. The more I do content, the more I'm educated into what's going on. I pray daily for my eyes to be open, and I see things that are just broken. And when I hear men talking, and like I said, as a black woman, it really hurts to hear, oh, the women, this is going on. It hurts me because I am a black woman, but I have to look at it and say, okay, what is going on with our kings? These are our black men. This is they're crying out and saying, hey, women, we don't want anything to do with you. That should be eye-opening. Something has to change, because if we keep having the back and forth, somebody somewhere is sitting around laughing at our numbers going down for marriages and black families being together. We are on the verge. If at the rate that we're going, our black families are going to be extinct, y'all. We have to do something about this. We have to come together. We got to stop pointing the finger. We have to get back to the Bible, get back to the way it's supposed to be, the foundation of a marriage. Your marriage, if you put God in that marriage, have your family, not that outside noise. Everybody's okay, I'm on here. Sometimes you just have to break away from certain people in your life. Get those people out your ear. When you sit and think about some of the relationships and some of the divorces that we probably had as a black community, some of it might not have been anything at all. Like what really is going on that we're just so quick to divorce? And what is it that we're just so quick to not even get together anymore? So, and I can actually see different things like on my end, guys. I'm going to take accountability for some of my black sisters because I've witnessed it. I've seen certain things. I can't speak for you guys except for me hearing different things that you guys are saying when you're going and trying to go on dates with black sisters and melanated women, women of color. And the money questions, the 50-50 questions. And at the end of the day, in a marriage, you're both put in anyway. So why are we so boisterous about this all of a sudden? We're not back in a time where most of us women are home taking care of the kids. Most of us are working anyway. So your money, his money, okay, the two become one. There's no, oh, my bank account. You're both contributing. Why are we calling out the 50-50 thing? You should be contributing anyway. And also, yes, the household still needs to be taken care of. You guys come together and work things out that way. The kids' homework, everything. It's not that bad if you think about it. Our parents did it. Our grandparents did it. And it's a shame because our ancestors, all they had to endure, all that they had to endure so that we can have freedoms, we can have rights, and we get to a point and you already have a system that's broken where it was all about the separation of the black family, but now we're contributing to it. We're not helping it because when we're so busy pointing the finger, like I said, somebody somewhere is laughing because the more we do this, we're not going to come together. No beautiful babies are not going to be made in marriage. And we're just going to be an extinct people. We're not going to exist at this rate. Because if you don't have marriages, yeah, you baby mamas, babies, baby daddies, we have to stop that. We have to get with each other in a union, in a marriage. We have to have family. We have to have our children come up with both parents. We need to do it the right way, because with all that's going on, and I believe a lot of it is because of that separation of the family. And now they're sitting back, somebody somewhere, all these laws that they created, and now they're sitting back and watching it. And now they don't even have to put their hands on it anymore, because we're actually not coming together on our own now. We have all this stuff, and it's the different things out here. It's like, okay, my body, my choice. And, men are looking at how women are dressed, and women, we're doing too much. And men, the same breath, you have a lot going on there too, because the stuff that you guys are saying now, the younger generation of boys, men coming up, they're looking like, okay, well, I don't want to date anybody. My uncles are saying this, my dad's saying this, there's nothing out here. And that's just going to cause us to just not even be together. So we have to make a change. We have to look within, start with yourself. And I can actually say, when I recently moved several months ago to a new state, and for the first time away from everybody I knew, like my town, everything. So I don't know, somebody mentioned, a site on social media where groups, okay, you could go on this site and you can it was actually on Facebook. It was a site on Facebook. It was a group on Facebook. And I guess it was like a friends meeting, like women, melanated women, a group of, beautiful black women, melanated women. And, you could put whatever state in our country, and women were just like, hey, what state are you from? And they were just meeting friends that way. Okay, going out to dinner, having a girls, skate night, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm in a new place. Let me go on here, because there might be somebody in my town, some women in my town. They can show me around, and I won't feel like I'm away from the female friends I had left in my other state. So I went on there. And it's funny, because my co-host Luke, I told him about it. I was like, hey, I found this great group and women on here. And he told me, he said, Shay, I don't know. He said, that might not be what you think it is. I was like, it's a bunch of women. I see them posting pictures, and they're out having fun with each other. They're dropping their states, and then they're like, hey, I'm close to you. And, they're having scripture time with each other. I see groups of women posting pictures. I'm like, this is great. I might meet some new friends. He said, Shay, I don't know. He was like, those sites sometimes have a hidden agenda. I'm like, oh, what is he talking about? Mr. Know-It-All, right? In my mind, because that's what I usually sing to him sometimes. And when I said that, I think it was like a couple days later, I started to see, because when you join the group, the site would actually show, hey, everybody say hello to so-and-so. And, I don't go on social media, Facebook a lot. I don't. But as a content creator, I'll put reels and different things like that. But I was getting notifications, and I was like, oh, wow, just to see, hey, if there's anybody around me. Oh, I started to notice that women are the same way as they are visual with men. Like when you see different shows out here, Pop the Balloon, and they're all popping on real quick, they're following each other. I noticed that even with women, you had to look a certain way. You had to have a certain kind of hairstyle and a certain kind of look. Your lashes had to be all that, where you would those were the women that were getting so many like, oh, welcome to the group. If you were just natural hair, just comfortable in your own skin, and you're just coming on there, and to me, you're still beautiful women. I'm like, oh, welcome. I'm sitting and I'm like, well, why is this person not really getting? And it was happening often. I was like, okay. But then there would be a woman on there, maybe a little bit of chest out, showing her this, that. Bunch of the women were just, oh, welcome. Hey, beautiful. But I'm like, wow. Shouldn't every woman that joins this group, since you're trying to meet friends, shouldn't they all get a welcome like that? Well, I think a day after that, when I started to notice that, somebody dropped a message in like they posted a post that said something to the effect of, hey, I'm gonna break the ice. Listen, I'm in so and so state. So if there's any women on here that is bi, I'm willing to meet friends, and let's just keep it real. And soon as that was posted, I kid you not, whole bunch of women from all different states started chiming in, yeah, so am I. And it's a few days before that, because I was only on there for, I would probably say a week, or it was probably a week, not even. So a few days before that, I'm seeing women, hey, I'm 42. Why is it that I can't find a man? And people are like, oh, you're beautiful. Oh, it'll happen for you, girl. You got to pray. You got to. A bunch of women just posting, hey, it's so hard. Can somebody tell me? Some of you, I see you're married on here. Can you tell me how did you get your husband to fall for you? And I'm looking at these women. I'm like, wow, there's a bunch of women on here who they're asking how to get into a relationship. They're having a hard time. They start a relationship and then something happens and they just keep going on these dating sites and nothing's happening for them. I was like, wow, this is sad. But then when that post was posted, hey, I'm going to break the ice. I'm bi and I'm looking for, and listen, to each its own, with your choice, that's on you. But when that happened, thousands, and all of a sudden, just people commenting, hey, I'm from so and so, dropping their state. I'm the same way, looking for, friends with. I'm like, I thought we was going skating and out to eat and girls chat. But when I saw that, and I said, wow, another way for Black families to be apart. You're not going to have little brown babies and have, the husband, the wife, that traditional family. And we're going to be extinct when we have all this distraction, all this going on. But when I saw that, and sadly I had to tell Luke, hey, Luke, you were right. This wasn't what I thought it was. And I got off of there because that's not what I was on there for. To each its own with them women. But in the same breath, some of them that were saying, hey, how do I get a man? But they were quick to say, some of them were the ones chiming right in like, hey, so am I. I'm in so-and-so state. Hit me up. We can hang out. And I'm just like, no. So in one breath, you're asking, hey, how do I get a man? But then on here, a couple days later, you're saying, wow, I'm willing to hook up with one of you guys, or we can have that kind of friendship. So how are you getting into relationship with men? So now that is causing confusion, because that opens up other doors in relationships and things like that. We just have too many distractions. We have to get back to, we don't want to be, you want to get to your 50s and 60s and say, and I'm not saying that you can't find love at that time, but a lot of men are saying that women, we have it backwards because we're putting those things above even having a family. Like, it's great, go to college, get your education, but that shouldn't be your number one thing. It should be like, hey, if I can find a husband while I'm here, if he can find me while I'm here, great. I love that for my sister. I have one of my siblings who, she had that. One of my siblings, I love that for her when she was in college. I love that her husband found her in college. And I love that. I believe they've been married now for 26 years. That's great. She was getting her career and her husband. I love that. So that should be the goal. Family. Because everybody's, oh, I'm going to go out here and it's about money. Family. Get together. build an empire with your husband. Build an empire with that black king. We have to do something, ladies. Men are just done with us. They are done with us. And there's a fear behind it, because a lot of them are like, okay, if I get with this woman and she wakes up one day and she doesn't want me anymore, or she's feels like he doesn't love her, because a lot of it, just talking to friends, there's women out here that just, basically, oh, I wasn't interested anymore, or I wasn't getting the tension. I wasn't getting, and it's like we're breaking up marriages for things that are just not worthy of messing up a marriage for. Not saying every situation is like that, but it's just all feelings like, oh, you know what? We grew apart. What does that actually mean? Are we really trying in our marriages? Are we trying to stay together? Because I feel like we're treating marriages like when we were in high school, girlfriend and boyfriend, and okay, you have your differences and then you break up, your relationship's done. That's not what a marriage is supposed to be. It's supposed to be for better or worse. And it's supposed to be till death do we part. I've seen so many aunts and uncles, my parents, stay together until death did they part. And I'm not saying they didn't have struggles and they didn't have different things, because no marriage is perfect. But we have to find a way to, first of all, get yourself grounded in the word. Put God in your marriage. Put God in your relationship. Let's get back to black families, because with the numbers that this gentleman just mentioned, Dr. George C. Fraser, that's scary. I want to see our people thrive. And the saying is, there's power in numbers. If we can just see that this was all a tactic, all of this was a tactic to keep us apart. And now we are just doing it on our own. Now we're on like autopilot. We're doing it. Oh, he's this and that. Oh, I'm going to go get him for child support. Oh, just so much just hate toward each other. And that's not what we need. We need each other. We need each other. And men, if you're feeling like that, and I've heard men saying, hey, you got all these women out here and they're making this much money, so they're not looking at the guy who's just average, because she wants the guy that's making this much. Everything is about, okay, I'm looking for that high value man. Women, what is a high value man going to do for you? A high value man. So you making, let's say 80K, like you're making 100K. You want that man making 150K. He's got to make more than you, because you don't want to feel like, okay, I'm the head. You want him to still be the head. You want him to make more. That guy that's making that much money, just letting you know, he has options. He has options, because not only do you want him, everybody in his office, anybody that he can have his pick of the litter because of what he's making. So what are you actually gonna get in that relationship? Not saying every man out here who's making that much money is out here dogging women out or anything like that. But that is something that I've heard men say, like, okay, if I'm making that much, then, I could get married, but he's going to still possibly do his thing, because he doesn't have nothing there keeping him. You're going to him because of how much he's making. Okay. Unless he falls in love with you, which that would be great. But let's face it. Everybody's looking at that man. Watch the show. Watch sometimes just for entertainment and just to see how women are. Sometimes to see how men are on there as well. If you watch that show, Pop the Balloon, comes on Wednesdays with Arlette. Watch it. When you do, see how quick a lot of the women on there, followers, They're all looking for the same guy. They're popping before the guy even tells what he does. Before he even says his name, he's walking out and they're pop, 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 pop. And then when he does start to talk, some of them I'm laughing because I'm like, this is a great guy. You guys are going by looks, and I get it. Yeah, you want to be attracted, but I don't think that's important. You need a husband at the end of the day. If he can be a provider, he can be a protector. And these men that are on the show are not, I don't see where they're bringing busted people. There's no, they're all decent looking. But because she popped in the front, now it just trickles down. Oh, everybody's popping. I only seen one show with one woman on there who actually kept her balloon. And she said at the end of the show, she did get a man on that show. And she said, I'm not a follower. Arlette asked her, why'd you keep your balloon? She said, I'm not a follower. I wanted to hear what they had to say, what the men had to say. She wasn't a follower. And I love that she voiced that. But we have to really look at that because back in the day, think about it. They had arranged marriages. And I know that's not what we have. That's not the time we're living in right now. But with arranged marriages and those families stayed together. I'm not saying they didn't have any hardships or things like that. But now we have so many conditions. Oh, you got to be this. You got to be that. Get yourself a godly man. Focus on that. Because if he has a relationship with God, that right there is key. That right there is key. Everything else will come with, because God has to be in the marriage. I believe that's what happened. We took God out of the home, and now you just have just a whole bunch of turmoil. You have people just bumping heads, and you just families that are separating. We have to get our numbers back up. We have to love each other. We have to love each other. Just like Dr. George Fraser said, we have to do it because the white people are not going to do it. So quick to point the finger. Oh, they did this and they created this for that. Well, now, aside from all that, we know all the systems that were in place. Our eyes are open to that. Now it's on us. Now we're doing destruction to ourselves. Let's get back to family. So I would like to hear what you have to say about this video and comment. It'd be nice to have some feedback. I'm willing to just do a part 2 about this. Hopefully I can get Luke in on a part 2. We'll do some more family videos because that's a goal right there, to get the Black family back together. That's important. And just taking a breath because it's sad. I'm hearing that number, 34%. We are at the bottom. And we're almost in the teens at the rate we're going. We do not want to be extinct. We have to do something about it. Let's get our Black families back together. I hope this video added some value. And as always, at LUKE-N-SHAE'S place, a positive mentality is a destined reality. Wear your smile, stay positive, get back to family, and until next time, stay blessed. Take care. Ever, and I'm